Good evening, O'Day fans. It is I, Dave Mazio, O'Day class of 1999, and once again I am joined by none other than O'Day head coach and athletic director, Coach Kohler. Coach, how you doing this evening?
I'm doing very well. Thank you, David.
Good, good, good. So hey, last week we started this O'Day, the Friday Night Light Rewind with the '94 football team, and a whole bunch of people tuned in. A whole bunch of people were watching. What was your initial thoughts? I mean, you were in there commenting on some of the plays. What'd you think? How'd it go?
I thought it was awesome. I mean, it was just good. And then I was able to text and talk to a few of the kids after, a few of the guys afterwards. And it's just a way to reconnect. I mean,
Yeah.
and have some fun with each other. And obviously, there's some great football players on that field, too. So that was really fun to see.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I know that me personally watching guys like Chris and Kurth back then when I was in eighth grade, I was just like, man, this is ridiculous. These guys are living legends, men amongst boys to an eighth grader's eyes. And so tonight we're going to be going into the quarterfinal game versus Capital, which a lot of our alums from the 90s know was pretty big along with Prosser, but for us back then. Tell us a little bit about that.
It was a great game. With the game that we played at Tumwater Stadium, and it was a hard-fought, physical football game. They were obviously well coached, and the boys played really well on defense. We didn't have Edgar, and I think Ronnie Bryant's going to step up and have another big game in this game, Capital. I'm excited to watch it. I haven't watched it probably since 1994 had anything to do with it. So, and like I said, it was fun last week.
Yeah.
There were some players to watch that football team, and they played with an attitude and that one. So I'm hoping they play a little better tonight, though, than they did
Yeah,
last week.
let's hope so. Maybe they can go back in the Wayback Machine and get a little get a little bit better. They
Yeah,
dropped the ball a couple of
yeah.
times on
I
the
mean,
ground
Kurt
there.
Kurt Canal was playing way too high last week, so he's got to get his pad level down.
You hear that, Chris? You got to get that pad level better. And then last question before we get ready for this game. I mean, what do we got coming up next? Where do you think we're going to go with these Friday Night Light rewinds?
Well, I think we're on a path. We're going to watch next week, whether we just do one game, and maybe the guys can chime in, see what they want to do. I mean, a half hour, 40 minutes, what it takes is pretty good. But next week, the plan is to do the West Valley of Yakima game, one of the greatest games in O'Day history. It's a top three, if not the best game we've ever had. We take it on the road, played at Eisenhower. Zeffel Field at Eisenhower High School in a double overtime game, a 4th-and-1 stop. In a hostile environment it was just great. And then the following week, or however we do this, will be the '94 state championship team game, 7-6 against Lake Stevens, and that'll be a lot of fun. It was hard fought and came right down to the end on a missed field goal, and so again, it's a great build up. How these 3-4 games build up, and then after that, we're probably going to bring in if we can continue to do it, and there's enough interest. The next round we'll play one of the state championship basketball games.
Perfect. No, it sounds fun. It's been a blast. I know I had a lot of fun last week. You said you had a lot of fun. The guys that were watching really enjoyed it. So, thank you so much for allowing us to get these tapes and just rock and roll with this stuff. We appreciate it, and thanks for taking the time again, Coach.
All right, thank you, David. Go
All right.
Irish.
Roll Irish.